Okay.
아이돌이 되고 나면 또 어떤 현실이 이제 기다리고 있는지 겉으로 보여지는 거 말고.
Imagine 3 hours a day for 3 years, and you get maybe 2 days of rest in a month. That's the reality of the K-pop idols. So they really have a 24/7 job. Usually you get about 3 to 10 years of training before you debut. And before that, you need to go through thorough auditions. And that's a competition itself. And you have to invest more in marketing to get a stable awareness for the group after you debut as a Korean idol. So it's still an uphill after you become an idol. It's not an easy road.
뉴진스도 이제 알아야 돼.
뉴진스?
뉴진스.
New jeans.
새로운 청바지들.
Okay, new jeans. Alright. New jeans, okay.
처음에 얘네가 데뷔가 2022년도야.
Yeah.
근데 5개의 노래 정도 노래를 낸 걸로 알고 있거든. 정확하진 않아. 근데 다 히트를 했어.
Okay.
그리고 음악 차트에서도 음악 방송에서도 1위 원래 이렇게 매주 가리거든요. 근데 1, 2위를 지네 노래끼리 배틀했어. 그런 가수가 진짜 별로 없거든. 자기 노래로만 1, 2, 3위를 다 해가지고 그래갖고 지들끼리 5명이거든 멤버가. 둘둘 나눠서 배틀했어. 자기 팀 노래 가지고. 그래서 그 모든 춤도 다 떴어. 안 뜬 게 하나도 없어.
There is less than 10% chance of you being, or of them being on the hot charts. So you mentioning that New Jeans, all their songs were at top 3. That's like remarkable result because it's really hard to do that.
그렇게 적은 확률로 뉴진스 같은 경우 나오자마자 바로 이슈가 됐지만 안 될 수도 있잖아. 그렇게 해도 또.
Yeah, so a lot of Korean idols after they debut, they think they made it. It's just as hard. You picture a pyramid, you're building a pyramid, right? And you're laying the bricks at the bottom. And it's vast and wide. You need many bricks. And as you start going to the top, you need less bricks to put in. But it needs to be more sharp. You need to craft your art. Same as the Korean idol. If you make it to the top 10 to 5% in the charts, and that's when the real challenge starts, where you have to craft and really master your skills and techniques. The idol groups that don't make it, unfortunately, they get lost and they get forgotten. So they go back to training, or they go out to society and get a part-time job, or they audition kind of little act, or they audition for little musicals, for little plays, and they really audition for that, and that's, you can't really make a living out of that. But that's the reality of being a K-pop idol.
그러니까 떠도 문제고 안 떠도 문제네.
Yeah.
어떻게 보면은 그 리스크가 생각보다 작지가 않네요. 물론 안 뜬 거보단 뜬 게 그래도 훨씬 더 경제적으로는 낫지 않을까 싶긴 한데, 근데 뜨고 나면 또 팬덤도 엄청 많이 생기잖아.
Again, we're going back to, let's say you made it to the 10% or the top 5%, like Blackpink, BTS, New Jeans, they're on their way. They all made it to the top. You make it to the top as a Korean idol group, you get a lot of money, a lot of fame, a lot of recognition, but that's just the outside. They still live in the same accommodation. So let's say you have 6 members in a group. You think they live separately, right? No, they live in one apartment with 2 or 3 rooms, and they share rooms 24/7. And after they make it and start making some money, it's time for them to pay back their agency. So that takes about 5 years to 8 years.
사람들은 아마 잘 모를 것 같아. 얘네가 데뷔를 하게 될 때 돈이 얼마나 많이 드는지.
Yeah, so basically the K-pop agency system is a very harsh juggernaut of a weapon, I would say. So the first 3 to 10 years of training a Korean idol group individually, they pay for everything. And let's say they made it top 10%, like we mentioned. After they start making some money, all the idols, they're in debt. So it's time for them to pay back the agency. And that's not a small sum of money. It's a lot of money.
뉴스에 보니까 그룹 한 팀당 달에 2억 정도 쓴다고 하더라고. 그냥 활동비로만. 그냥 뭔가 제작하는 게 아니라 그냥 이 운영하기 위해서 2억 정도 소요가 되고 그게 뭐 밥값도 들어가고 뭐도 들어가고 엄청난 돈이 들어가더라고.
For one group, 200 million is a lot of money, man. Yeah. Every month, $1 billion is spent like a dust.
네, 왜 K-팝만 조금 더 지금 트렌드에서 더 이슈가 되고 조금 더 사람들이 열광하는지 무엇이 차이가 있나요? 다른 아시아 국가들과는.
It's the system. Korea has the best system to create the best idol groups. It's really like a military kind of system. There's no no. There's always yes. Yes, sir. There's no no. If you say no, you're out. So it's very, very heavily focused on kind of military mindset, whereas other countries, they're kind of free. For example, China, a lot of people there, many talents there as well, but the children who want to become an idol in China, their parents are very rich because the agencies in China, they are funded by the Chinese parents, the Chinese children's parents. It's actually the parents who have the say of yes or no, and the agency can't push the children to the limit. So it's very like only 3 hours of singing lesson, then they have lunch, 2 hours of dancing lesson, and then they have a break. Whereas Korea is like you don't leave until the job is done.
돈만 있으면 할 수 있는 거네, 중국에서.
Yeah. So in China, it's mostly money-based, not skill-based.
노력이나 뭐 실력, 탤런트보다는 돈이 먼저다. 돈만 있으면 그 데뷔를 할 수는 있구나, 그러면.
Yeah, so if you have money, you can debut. Succeeding is not guaranteed, but you can debut. In China, it's easy. Yeah.
근데 일본 같은 경우는 좀 다르지 않을까요, 그래도? 일본은 오리지널 아이돌이 많으니까.
In the case of Japan, the idol culture has been established for a very long time, longer than Korea. And the system and the methods of, nurturing the idols are quite excellent. They're up in the game. But the idol concept still couldn't escape the cute and innocent image. So Japan, they can't adapt to the new trend. Whereas in Korea, kind of adapt and keep changing our trends and concepts and style. So like the first generation of the Korean idol was cute, like Japan. And the second generation idols were sexy. So the concept and the trend was sexy. And then the third generation was innocence.
Innocent.
Yeah. The fourth generation was girl crush. So, strong woman power. And now it's kind of retro kind of trend.
맞아.
So if you see the timeline of Korean idols concept and style, it's constantly changing.
계속 변화를 줘서 이제 팬들이 지루하지 않게끔.
In the case of Korea, the cameraman and the broadcasting company has different shooting skills.
그것도 그러면 이 영상 촬영 방법에 또 국민성이 들어가 있는 거네.
Yeah, depending on the song, the height, the image of the group. The cameramans are kind of like cameramans like in Avatar, the movie.
맞아. 거의 영화 찍듯이 찍잖아. 그냥 방송 찍을 때도. 이 댄스만 신경 쓰는 게 아니라 한국 아이돌 보면 배경, 무대 배경을 엄청 신경 써요. 그 부분들을.
The main focus is not just on songs, it's visual. It's not much so listening. It's multi-focused art performance.
그냥 아트네. 그냥
Yeah, it's just art.
문화. 10대들이 지망생이 한국에는 어느 정도 있을까요?
It's estimated to be like about 1 million a year. And there are more than 1,700 officially registered agencies in Korea, and 99% of them are focused and based in Seoul. So about 1 million applicants a year, other applicants from abroad. If you include them, I would say more than 2 million.
진짜 엄청 많다.
Yeah.
그럼 이 친구들은 발굴이 어떻게 되는 거야? 이 많은 친구들이 다 어떤 방법으로 길러지고 픽업이 되고 캐스팅이 되는지.
Korea, various audition programs are held every year, and other large entertainment companies always run public auditions and private auditions. Approximately, in average, 5 to 8 auditions a year. Privately ran auditions average about 30 to 50 in a year, and that's just the minimum. And because there is a casting manager dedicated to the agencies, they actively cast people with excellent looks even on the streets. Go to Hongdae, there's a lot of people busking, and a lot of casting managers go there to seek out talent. Search a lot on the YouTube as well.
그러니까 직접 지원하는 거 말고도 회사에서도 또 계속 찾고 있네요, 서로가.
Yeah. So if you have talent and if you let yourself be known online and stuff, the casting manager will contact you.
그러면 연습생이 되면 다 데뷔를 할 수 있는 거예요?
Let's say you pass the first audition, right? And you become a trainee. You have to spend about minimum 3 to 10 years of practice before you get a chance to actually have a shot at debuting. And within the practice period, they learn second language, third language, fourth language. They take vocal lessons, dancing, acting lessons, walking lessons. They have to manage their weight. So a lot of physical training as well. Eating like 300 to 600 calories a day only.
아이돌 머신이 돼가고 있는 거네.
It's a militant factory business, and all the payments are conducted by the agencies, so you're in debt.
한국에서 나온 Kpop 아이돌의 특징이 있잖아. 남자 아이돌의 가장 큰 리스크.
I'll mention about the military.
진짜 밀리터리로 가는 거네 이제.
Yeah.
평생을
Yeah.
밀리터리로 지냈다가 진짜 이제 전사가 되러 가는 거네.
Because Korea is a divided country, as you know. We have the south and the north. So military service is mandatory for all males. Before it was 3 years. Now it's 2 years. So you have to go to the military service for 2 years. The country and the fandom itself actually supported BTS that they should be exempt from the military service. Korea is very strict on celebrities getting that kind of exemption from the military service. I don't know why, because fucking all the politicians' sons, they don't go to the army, you know? They get bribed and they don't go to the army. And I don't know why the Korean idol boys, they have to go to the army. They just want to set an example. And the politicians, they're very strict on that. So after the military service, it's really hard for them to get back into the industry because each member of the group go to the military service in a different time. They don't go to the military service all at the same time. One might go on September, one might go on October, one might go the next year, and stuff like that. After the military service, not many Korean idol groups regroup, and even if they do, they don't get the same, success or same recognition as before.
그래서 30살 전에 모든 걸 해결을 해야 되네.
You have to succeed before you go to the army. You have to. It's a must. It's a set timeline. Because after the army, the agency won't want you anymore anyway.
어떤 차별점이 있기에 이렇게 큰 이슈를 계속 불러일으키는지 K-pop들이.
The music video, the quality of the finished product, it's unlike any other groups or singers worldwide. It's all together, you know. There's a saying where K-pop is not listening, it's watching. For example, Gangnam Style became a hot issue first with the music video on YouTube, not the song. So it was a very visual kind of power that set K-pop in motion. And since then, most of the agencies have put a lot of effort into making the music video a top quality as possible. And the music video per song costs hundreds and millions of dollars.
짧은 영상에 진짜 엄청난 공을 들이고.
It's all about the high quality and clean execution. And many employees and teams who put their soul and effort into this product. They don't sleep for like 3 days, 4 days. Not just the idols, the team that backs them up. The Korean idol groups, they do a lot of SNS activities. A lot of it.
BTS도 SNS로
Yeah.
그 과정이 다 나왔었잖아. 처음에 어떻게 했는지.
The Korean idols, they're really good at, well, Korean idol market, they're really good at marketing the actual timeline of a group from the infant stage to the, you know, the growth stage, the mature stage, so to speak. So they document everything and they post it up on SNS. So it's really about forming that communication skills, forming that bond with the fans. And if the fans, you know, ask for something, they do it. But they try their best to fulfill each need. About having that relationship with the fans. And the company itself and the agencies, they invest a lot of money and time on those aspects as well. A lot of merchandising goods can be made. So let's say if you pay like $20 for a BTS package, right? You don't just get a CD and a photo book. You get like the figures, the dolls, the clothes they wore, the perfumes they might have used on stage. So it's very, very focused on the fans and what they would like and what they would want. So it's not just like about making money. It is about making money, but you get what you ask for with that money, or even more sometimes.
그리고 저는 한국에서 춤추는 이 안무가 조금 특징이 있는 것 같아. 되게 강력한. 근데 한국말로 그걸 군무라고 하거든. 그래서 우리 오늘 계속 밀리터리라고 했는데 군무라는 뜻도 사실 밀리터리에서 온 거고.
Choreography of a Korean idol is worldwide the far best. Like it's the best. Like I have to admit it as well. Yeah, it is called 군무. The militant kind of 군무 is like militant, right? And there's another word, 칼군무. So 칼 is like a knife, sharp precision.
엣지?
Yeah. So if you're like a 6-member group, everyone's perfectly choreographed.
맞아, 한 치의 오차도
Yeah,
없잖아.
not even a slightest angle. And to get to that perfection requires a lot of practice. That's why they invest 3 to 10 years minimum. And it's not just them. It's the dance directors, the choreography directors, the vocal trainers. They stay up all night, dedicated in making that particular group succeed. So that's the difference. The work ethic is in another realm than any other countries that I went through and that I experienced personally as well. Look at the dancing trends in K-pop. We talked about the first generation being cute. The second generation was about being sexy. And the third and fourth and so on. If you look at those trends, it is straightly correlated to the dancing trend as well. So K-pop is very, very good at setting a trend and going above that expectation the next time. Well, Korea's just too fast.
Yes, very fast.
Yeah, because if you put out a single album, usually you wait a year. But in Korea, that's too long. You put out a single album, 1 month later, you put out a second album. 2 months later, you put out a third album. Everything is set and ready to go.
계속 준비가 돼 있네.
Yeah, it's like reloading really fast. You shoot a gun, you need to reload fast, right?
그러면 이런 아이돌 가수들은 오직 한국에서만 나올 수 있는 거예요?
I think so, because it's the work ethic. It's on another level. Like the mentality is on another level. And K-pop already set a high level standard. So they have to live up to that name as well. So more pressure on the Korean agencies and the Korean artists. It's, you can't take that back. The characteristic and the choreography, I don't think there's nothing like it in the world that can actually come up to the Korean idol level. Yeah.
그럼에도 불구하고 지금 오늘 얘기한 이렇게 문제점들이나 아니면은 그거요, 과정이 얼마나 힘든지에 대해서 이야기했잖아요. 그럼에도 아이돌은 할 만한 가치가 충분히 있는 건가요?
Yes, in any kind of job, there's always a dark side. If you want to rise to the top, the only difference is this market is severely on that edge. So you're always on the edge. You have to be perfect all the time. You're gonna get a lot of, malicious comments for no reason. You have to have a good mental state to handle that. And once you succeed as a K-pop idol, then you may never have to work ever again. Because once the image is set in the Korean market, you don't need to audition anymore. That's one major difference from Korea to rest of the world is the first 10 to 15 years, it might be really, really hard. But once you make it and you survive that, you don't even have to audition for anything. Anything. We need to support the Korean idols because, like you said, we get a lot of benefits from them, from the world. Back in the days when I was young, didn't even know where Korea was. But now, everyone knows. Thanks to the Korean culture of K-pop idols, and it's all thanks to their dreams and their passion.
아이돌들은 제가 이렇게 들었을 때 10대를 다 바치잖아요. 여기다가 가장 뛰놀고 놀아야 되는 시기에. 그래서 그렇게 바쳐서 물론 자기가 하고 싶어서 한 거고 저도 잘 됐을 때는 그만큼 리워드도 크지만 이렇게 앞장서서 이 리스크를 막상 당해보면 쉽게 할 수 있는 사람은 없다고 생각하거든요, 저는. 한국에는 예전에도 아이돌들이 조금 안 좋은 문제들이 있었잖아요. 근데 그게 좀 악플에서 비롯되거나 나쁜 루머나 뭐 이런 거에서 비롯된 게 너무 많아서 근데 혜택을 받고 있으면 그러면 안 되잖아. 그래서 그런 문화가 좀 바뀌었으면 좋겠어요, 이게 점점점.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And we all have to take action to support that movement. They need to be protected. They are a monument to our society and culture.